Hello, hello. How are you all? This we are doing some chemistry on a channel called Eepsa Education, right? Okay. So today's topic is esterification. We've done one episode on esterification, part A. Today we're doing part B. उसमें हमने समझा था कि कैसे बनाते हैं और इनिशियल पार्ट समझा था ऑफ एस्टर्स, क्या उसका फॉर्मूला होता है, कैसे उसे पहचानते हैं, वो समझा था. In B topic, that will be the last, मतलब that's the end of esterification sequence. In B part, we have to discuss three topics. One is how to write the equation. One is how to name an ester. कोई formula given हो आपको C3H7 something something. How will you name it? Alright, उसका क्या नाम बनाओगे आप IUPAC के हिसाब से. And then one little small topic which was left. There's this compound sulfuric acid which is used during the reaction. So what is the purpose of that H2SO4? Okay, so these are the three topics that we will cover. Let me make some recollection. For production of an ester was a compound, right? To make ester, we needed one carboxylic acid, which is organic acid. We needed some alcohol, and that's what that was it. We would heat it, put some concentrated H2SO4 in it, mix it, and you would get the ester. Okay, and some water as a byproduct. Fine, that was the acid. So it is basically acid plus alcohol. That's it. जैसे acid plus base नहीं होता normal chemistry में, inorganic chemistry में हम याद कर लेते हैं acid plus base is like this. So here it is acid plus alcohol. Okay, now let's revise. Carboxylic acid को हम general, अगर हमें specific वाला नहीं लिखना है, general formula for carboxylic acid is RCOOH. For alcohol, it's ROH, but I am writing R-OH because maybe this alkyl group and this alkyl group हो सकता है अलग अलग हो. That's why I'm writing R-. H2SO4, fine. This is the formula for an ester. We discussed it. RCOR dash, and water is water. Okay, so let's begin directly with writing the equation. The first task is to write the equation. Now see what I have written here. I have written that always whenever you have to write the equation, you know that an acid and an alcohol दोनों की जरूरत होती है. तो पहले आप एसिड का नाम लिखो, फिर आप अल्कोहल का नाम लिखो. उल्टा नहीं करो, पहले अल्कोहल नहीं लिखना, उससे गड़बड़ हो जाती है. पहले आप राइट द एसिड नेम, देन यू राइट द अल्कोहल नेम. सपोज लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल. Let's take some. Okay, let's first take the example which is there in the textbook. The acid that they are using is acetic acid, ethanoic acid, acetic acid. So they are using acetic acid and they are using ethanol. Let me use ethanoic only. IUPAC name. Yeah. Ethanoic acid, and they're using ethanol and the same H2SO4, and they're getting okay, they're getting ethyl ethanoate and water. Now you must be thinking this is making no sense at all. क्या इतना बड़ा बड़ा सा अजीब सा लिख गया है. Let's short it down. In words it always looks very horrible. So there's no need. Ethanoic acid. How do you form the formula of acids? The first step in forming an acid is just write COOH. ओके सबसे पहले COH लिख दो, एसिड का नाम आते ही. नाउ ईथ, 2 कार्बन एटम्स. ठीक है, एक कार्बन एटम तो ऑलरेडी यूज कर लिया हमने. इथ इज 2 कार्बन एटम्स. एक कार्बन एटम वी ऑलरेडी यूज, तो हम यहाँ पे R में तो सिर्फ CH3 लिख सकते हैं ना. ऑलरेडी 2 कार्बन एटम हो गए. सो दिस इज इथेनोइक एसिड. फाइन. नाउ इट लुक्स थोड़ा सा सेम्पलेंस के साथ. Alright. Then we come to ethanol. All में क्या होता है? You start with writing OH in the end. Ethyl. तो जो alkyl group होएगा वो क्या हो जाएगा? C2H5. So that becomes the ethanol. Now, when we make this reaction, we first take the acid part and then we take the alcohol part. As in, first we'll write CH3CO. I'll explain what it is. COO and then C2H5 and water. Now, actually, let me not write it here. How it functions is slightly different. आपको लग रहा होगा कि शायद ऐसे लिखना चाहिए CH3COO C2H5 या कुछ ऐसे लिखना चाहिए. But it's written in a funny manner. What happens actually during this reaction is little tricky. अभी तो आप सीधे सीधे ऐसे लिख सकते हो. ये वाला लिखा, COO लिखा, वो ऑलरेडी आ गया इसके अंदर, और C2H5. That is your ester. But if you really want to understand the reaction, let's understand what happens. What happens is this will remain as it is. You know, this is acid structure. Correct? This is alcohol structure is simple, but यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है? We have to just write it in the reverse manner. That doesn't affect anything, but we just have to write it in the reverse manner if you want to understand actually अंदर चल क्या रहा है chemical reaction. So I am just doing nothing but I can write C2H5 like this. I'm just starting from that side and writing like this. This is alcohol only. जबकि पहचानने में मुश्किल हो रहा है, but this is what is done. Okay. Now, what happens in reality is there's some energy is supplied. We are heating it, और यहाँ से bond टूट जाता है. OH का बॉन्ड टूट जाता है. एसिड में से OH टूटता है और अल्कोहल में से H टूट जाता है. Okay, this we normally lot of people go wrong in this, but remember, acid gives OH and alcohol gives H. I will write it somewhere. Now, अब ये रिवर्स लिखने का पर्पस क्या था? रिवर्स लिखने का पर्पस क्या था? That can you see what is happening here? OH and H in the center. What will they do? वो जॉइंट होके पानी बना देते हैं. ये OH है, ये H है, यहाँ पे पानी बन गया. अब बचा क्या? CH3C और ये वाला O. इसको लिख दो. You may write ऊपर or you may write here only. यहाँ तक ये आ गया. और अब यहाँ क्या बचा? OCH3. So this is how ester is formed. वैसे तो बहुत आसान है लिखना, बस ये लिखो और खत्म हो गया. But if you really want to understand how it works, is कि OH breaks from acid, H breaks off from the alcohol, the middle part they join and form water, and the extreme parts they join to form the ester. Okay. I want to write it here only. First name comes from alcohol, and let me just write. First, write acid. OH, I know now it will be dirty, comes from acid. Okay, just remember OH part comes from acid, and then you write the alcohol, and the H part comes from alcohol. जो breakage होती है compounds की, it is like this. OH breaks from here and H breaks from alcohol. Okay, now we've understood that. Now let's just remove this to avoid any confusions, because this much is also sufficient. Okay, now we'll come to the second point. साथ साथ ही कर लेते हैं कि इसका नाम कैसे ले. हमने इसका नाम इथाइल, पता नहीं क्या लिखा है, इथाइल इथेनोएट. ये नाम आया कहाँ से? कहाँ है इथाइल, कहाँ है इथेनोएट? So let's understand that. अब इसका रूल क्या है? First take the name from the alcohol. Now this is उल्टा. हमने पहले एसिड लिखा, फिर अल्कोहल लिखा, right? But नाम naming के time we reverse the order. First we name it as per alcohol, फिर हम acid का नाम लिखते, just the reverse. First we writing acid and then alcohol. In naming we'll first write it alcohol. What is it? Ethyl alcohol, ethane. So we'll write ethyl because of this one. So we will write this part is giving us the name ethyl. Okay, and this part is giving us the name ethanoate. I know इस रिएक्शन में बहुत पता नहीं चलेगा क्योंकि वो भी इथ है, ये भी इथ है, but know that the first part of the name comes from alcohol and the second part of the name comes from acid. You have to know it because अगर ये वाला example नहीं हुआ, then you'll have to figure out properly. Okay, I hope this. What is its name? Ethanoic acid. We've written what is its name, ethanol, and its name is ethyl ethanoate. Okay, now let's take another example where these are not both same. Like right now it's it and it. We'll take something random example where they are different so that we can find out actually how to name it and how to make the ester. अभी तो सब कुछ C2 था तो it was आसान, it was easy. अब हम लेते हैं अलग अलग टाइप्स के. ठीक है, I know it's little dirty but I want to clean it because. Okay, let's choose an acid, let's choose an alcohol. Propanoic acid I choose and butanol I choose. See, there's no reason I'm choosing that. पहले क्या लिखना है? I've chosen butanol. Let me write. I have chosen butanol and I have chosen propanoic acid. And I want to make propanoic acid, and I want to make an ester out of it. Let's follow the steps. सबसे पहले you have to write the acid. So I start writing the equation. Propanoic. So let's take one more step. I will first write propanoic acid. Second thing you have to write is the alcohol. So I write butanol. And then there will be an ester, which we don't know. So just like write ester and water and this standard catalyst. Okay, we've written in words. Now comes the more difficult part, writing the formulas. Propanoic acid. कैसे शुरू करेंगे? सबसे पहले COOH लिख दो. एसिड दिखाई दे रहा है ना? वर्ड एसिड दिखाई देते COH लिख दिया. Prop means 3. Prop means 3. Now we have already used up one carbon atom. Out of those 3 carbon atoms, we have already used up 1. We left with 2. So what is the alkyl group left here? It will be C2H5. Yes or no? So this becomes propanoic acid, जिसको हम ढूंढ रहे थे. अब आ जाते हैं ब्यूटेनॉल पे. ऑल मतलब सबसे पहले तो OH लिख दो. ब्यूट, अभी कोई कार्बन तो यूज हुआ नहीं है, तो ब्यूट मतलब वो तो C4 सीधा सीधा आ जाएगा. C4 एंड H के साथ क्या आएगा? 9. C4H9 OH. So this becomes butanol. So at least हमारे reactants क्लियर हो गए कि हमने एसिड लिख दिया और हमने अल्कोहल लिख दिया. पहले एसिड लिखा फिर अल्कोहल लिखा. Now how to form the ester? Ester will be formed. We'll take first from here. So कहाँ तक लेंगे हम? यहाँ तक लेंगे, यहाँ तक. So it becomes C2H5COO. यहाँ तक ले लिया. फिर हम ब्यूटेनॉल का पार्ट लेंगे. Because while writing the equation, you just go in that order. Now after COO, it will be C4H9. So this is the ester. I don't want to write water because it will make it messy. I'm writing H2O here. So this is the ester which will be formed out of propanoic acid and butanol. Okay, so that's how you make the ester. Now the second task remains how to name this thing. You have to name it also. So what did we say? Naming के time सबसे पहले name, take the first part of the name from the alcohol. Alcohol क्या है? But. But है ना alcohol. तो हम इसका नाम कैसे लिखेंगे? We'll start with but. So it will be butyl. Alkyl के हिसाब से but will become butyl. And then we take from the acid. What was it? Prop. Huh? So it becomes propanoate. See, this O8 is a depiction of कि ester है. Whenever ये O8 word आ जाता है ना, O8 suffix आ जाता है, उससे पता चलता है कि thing is ester. So पहले हमने अल्कोहल का नाम लिखा, फिर हमने एसिड का नाम लिख दिया, O8 लगा दिया. So that becomes the name of this ester. C2H5COO C4H9 is butyl propanoate. Perfect? Understood? So we've done the example which is typically in the books, and we've taken one example randomly कि by chance वो वाला नहीं आए समझ आए, and you have to use your random acids and alcohols. You can make your own ester. Okay, now this part is over. This now is a very small part left, which is H2SO4. Now it's a very small part, but it's a very important part. Okay, concentrated H2SO4. It does three things I've mentioned there. It makes the energy required for the reaction less. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? आपको दो चीज को रिएक्शन कराना है. You have to make two things react. आपको पता है रिएक्शन करने से पहले चीजें तो टूटती फूटती हैं. पहले इसको तोड़ो, फिर उसको तोड़ो, फिर ज्वाइन करो, फिर ऐसे होता है रिएक्शन. रिमेंबर हमने पहले भी लिखा था कि that thing breaks from here, H breaks from here. So during a reaction, the first thing which happens is breaking up of things. Atom एक इधर टूट गया, एक atom उधर टूट गया. That's what happens. That requires energy. तो H2SO4 क्या करता है? ये जो एनर्जी चाहिए ना तोड़ फोड़ करने के लिए, वो कम कर देता है. थोड़ी सी एनर्जी में डालो और things start breaking up. So that's an advantage. It becomes easy to do the reaction. थोड़ी सी एनर्जी डालो and the breakage will happen. It's easy to do the reaction. It's faster to do the reaction that way. हम बहुत देर तक हमें उसको हीट करते रहो 2 घंटे तक, वो नहीं करना पड़ता. It happens with lesser heat, lesser energy. Second important thing is that it absorbs water. Oh, so what if it absorbs water? Okay, now let's take something interesting. Okay, I have a pile of clothes. This is going to be funny. I have a pile of clothes. And I have an almirah which is only this much space. Now I'm sorting the clothes. I can't fit all of it in this. ये मेरे clothes हैं, इस almirah में तो fit आने से रहे. So what do I have to do? I have to sort it. I will remove one cloth and give it away to somebody. ये giving away वाली basket है. इसमें जो कपड़े जाएंगे वो गिव अवे हो जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो मैंने ये भी निकाला, यहाँ डाल दिया, यहाँ पे निकाला, ये नीचे के थे डाल दिया. 2 मिनट बाद थोड़े से यहाँ पे भी इकट्ठे हो गए, विच आई वॉन्ट, बट थोड़ी देर बाद ही वो बास्केट भर गई. अब क्या करें? अब आपको ये बास्केट का सामान किसी और को दे दो और इस बास्केट को खाली करो, फिर इसमें डालना शुरू करो तो इसमें डालने शुरू होंगे. आई डोंट नो, वेरी वियर्ड एग्जांपल, बट द बेसिक थिंग इज इफ यू रिमूव द वेस्ट, ये वेस्ट था ना, इफ यू रिमूव द वेस्ट, the sorting becomes easy, what you want to do becomes easy. You keep collecting the waste, the action will not happen only. आप घर के अंदर कचरा इकट्ठा करते रहो, आपको चलने की जगह नहीं मिलेगी. Right? You have to keep removing the waste things, this, that, the empty cartons, this, that. Then only you can function better. So that's what. Now this is water. Where is water? Water is a waste. Here, water is a byproduct. Waste. तो H2SO4 क्या काम करता है? ये waste को हटा देता है. byproduct को, waste को हटा देता है. तो जब byproduct या waste thing हट रही है, तो आपका काम आसान हो रहा है, आपका एक्शन आसान हो रहा है, आपका रिएक्शन आसान हो रहा है. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ रिमूवल ऑफ वाटर. कि आप वेस्ट हटाते जाओ, वेस्ट चीज हटती जाएगी, तो आपका रिएक्शन आगे चलता जाएगा, फटाफट फटाफट रिएक्शन होगा और एस्टर बनेगा. सो दैट इज द पर्पस ऑफ रिमूविंग water. I know I've gone into little detail, but for those who want to understand, nahi to you can just say it. Have I written? Absorbs water, yeah, removes water. You can also say removes water. एंड ऑब्वियसली फिर इन दोनों चीजें होने के बाद the reaction becomes faster. You can just write that in case you want to. मेन चीज तो यही हुआ है ना, इन दोनों की वजह से रिएक्शन हैज बिकम फास्टर. ठीक है, सो वी हैव अंडरस्टूड कि इक्वेशन कैसे बनानी है, वी हैव अंडरस्टूड कि नाम कैसे करना है, एंड वी हैव अंडरस्टूड कि H2SO4 का कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड का फंक्शन क्या था. That ends esterification part of the syllabus. I hope you've understood the first A part also and B part also. Thank you.